hiding in the guest room because my kids will not leave me alone.
Hey, that's me.
Kim Kardashian has been getting a lot of backlash lately over how strangely she was seen acting toward her son, Saint. They were recently photographed together before one of his soccer games, and many people believe that how she treated him was extremely telling. But what exactly did Kim do to Saint that led to her facing so much criticism? The details surrounding her shady behavior are absolutely bizarre. So let's get into it. According to The Sun, Kim was recently spotted walking alongside 8-year-old Saint as they made their way into his school for a soccer game. As the mother-son duo approached the crowd of paparazzi waiting outside the school, Kim affectionately put her arm around Saint's shoulders. Even though the outing might have seemed pretty normal at first, a lot of people noticed something about Kim's interaction with her son that was seriously suspicious. A video of Saint and his mom walking into the school was shared to a thread in a Kardashians-themed subreddit where several users pointed out that Kim's behavior was unbelievably crazy. The clip showed that when Kim and Saint arrived outside the school and began walking toward the entrance, there was a normal amount of space in between them. But what Kim did next was honestly insane. Right after she noticed how many paparazzi were waiting to take their pictures, her first reaction was to adjust her zip-up sweatshirt and the waistband of her leggings. Only after Kim fixed her outfit and made sure she was ready for the cameras did she start acting more caring and warm towards Saint. She quickly draped her arm across his shoulders and attempted to pull him closer to her. But the timing of Kim's hurried affection seemed to be way too convenient to just be a coincidence. Immediately after she partially embraced her son, they walked by even more paparazzi who were gathered right outside the entrance to the school. It was obvious that Kim had looked directly at the photographers before she adjusted her outfit. Some of the commenters on the Reddit thread even called attention to the fact that her behavior towards Saint wasn't very nurturing until she noticed that she was being filmed. But that wasn't all. Several Reddit users also accused Kim of calling the paparazzi and letting them know what time she and Saint would be arriving at the school. They believe that she wanted to flaunt how much of a present, hands-on mom she was in order to get positive media attention. However, a lot of people clearly felt like the footage had completely exposed Kim as fake. But this isn't the first time she's been slammed for pretending to be an involved mother, only when there are cameras around. She's actually been called out many times in the past for her performative parenting. In January 2023, Page 6 reported that when Kim and her two oldest kids were leaving one of North's basketball games one evening, she was asked about an uncomfortable subject. As a group of paparazzi rushed towards them to take their picture, one photographer brought up a very sensitive topic. While Saint and North were getting into their mom's vehicle, Kim was questioned about her true feelings on Kanye's latest scandal. Earlier that day, he had allegedly physically harmed a photographer and broken their phone as well. But before she could respond, one of her kids loudly screamed at the paparazzi from inside the vehicle. Either North or Saint had yelled, "Please leave," at the crowd of photographers. But Kim kept the door of the vehicle open while she lectured the paparazzi. She firmly told them not to talk to her about Kanye's drama around her children. Although she wasn't wrong for making that specific demand, her timing was truly unbelievable. Kim had waited several seconds as the paparazzi walked around her vehicle and got even closer to her and her kids, just so that she could tell them not to talk to her about the incident. Meanwhile, her kids were clearly very distressed by the swarm of strangers around them. It would have been better for Saint and North if Kim had simply gotten inside the car and comforted them. Instead, she put on a protective mom act by telling off the photographers, which probably didn't change a thing. But it seems like it's more important to Kim to be seen with her kids than it is to actually protect them from paparazzi. Kim and her kids have obviously been photographed in public countless times, but a lot of those instances have taken place right outside the children's school. She has an insane amount of money, power, and resources that would allow her to protect them from having their privacy invaded by paparazzi. But apparently that just isn't one of her priorities. There are so many other celebrity parents who have managed to keep photographers away from their children, and they've also made it a point not to show their kids on social media. But unfortunately, the same definitely can't be said for Kim. A lot of people have suspected that Kim tips off the paparazzi herself just to show the world that she does occasionally spend time with her kids. But even when her interactions with her children aren't documented by photographers or posted to social media, she still finds a way to showcase her parenting in a performative way. In May 2023, Kim appeared on an episode of Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast, where she exaggerated how involved she really is in her kids' day-to-day lives. But she ended up getting a ton of backlash because the controversial claims she made about parenting were incredibly hard to believe. During the episode, Kim explained that she was still struggling to learn how to be a single mom. She added that she'd faced multiple challenges as a result of having to raise her kids by herself. But because she allegedly had to clean the house and cook their meals as well, life as a single parent was even more chaotic for her.
It's like full crazy madness, cooking, running around, like it's wild.
Kim also claimed that all 4 of her children usually wanted or needed her help with something at the same time, which often left her feeling completely overwhelmed.
There are nights I cry myself to sleep, like, what just happened?
But many people didn't believe Kim's side of the story at all. Even though she technically was single after divorcing Kanye, that didn't change how inaccurately she portrayed her parenting situation. She had, and still has, way more help taking care of her kids and her house than the majority of parents do. According to what a source told the U.S. Sun, Kim has a team of as many as 6 nannies who takes care of her children. She supposedly has at least 4 nannies working at a time, so there's always one caregiver per kid. So how can she claim that she's constantly busy being a hands-on mom when in reality, the nannies take on almost all of the childcare duties? The insider also explained that aside from the help Kim gets with childcare, she has chefs, drivers, housekeepers, and tutors to make sure everything else in the household runs smoothly. But she reportedly still only sets aside about 15 minutes of one-on-one time for each of her kids daily. What the source revealed next was absolutely unreal. The insider said that on some days, Kim's work schedule is supposedly too packed for her to spend any time at all with her children. Between managing her businesses, attending events, and jet-setting around the world to make appearances, she clearly seems to prioritize her career over being a present parent for her kids. But even when Kim does have time to spend with her children, she doesn't always give them her full attention. In March 2023, the Irish Sun reported that she had recently shared a video to her Instagram story that showed her and Saint laughing together. But many people were shocked by her bizarre behavior in the clip. While Kim filmed herself tickling Saint, she appeared to be staring at herself on the phone screen as she faked her laughter. It honestly seemed like she was only focused on making sure she looked fine in the recording, instead of actually appreciating the one-on-one time with her son. Not surprisingly, a lot of people online dragged Kim for her performative parenting. They accused her of being a fake mom and staging the moment just to post on social media. Sadly, she's basically been putting on the same act for as long as she's been a mother. Unfortunately, it seems like Kim selfishly wants to be viewed as a nurturing, hands-on parent more than she wants to actually put in the effort to be present and involved in her kids' lives. But now that we've gotten into why her behavior towards Saint and her other children tends to change when there are cameras around, I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the accusations that Kim is being fake and performative when it comes to her parenting? What do you think about how she was recently seen acting affectionate towards Saint, but only after she noticed that she was being filmed? Let me know in the comments below.